Hey friends, Shay here. So please forgive the glare on my glasses and my lack of makeup today. I've got a bit of a sty in my eye, so makeup's a no-go. Because of that, I feel like it's a little less noticeable with my glasses on. But now that I've told you, it's not really a big deal. So anyways, that's not what today's about. Today we are going to talk about manga office romances. So I have a bunch of series here that are office romances in manga that I absolutely love and adore. I love and adore each and every one of these. So let's go ahead and dive in. This video has quite a few. I've got a dozen recommendations for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first up, let's talk about Our Teachers Are Dating. This one's a pretty obvious one, as they are two women who teach at the same school who end up in a relationship. Throughout the course of the series, we do end up with both of them being cheered on by the students, by other teachers by other colleagues at their school, and things like that. This is a pretty simple story. They're both fairly shy about, kind of coming out and being together, but as they get to know one another better, it organically just develops. Is super sweet. Reminds me a lot of another series in this list that's one of my all-time favorites. But if you like a good office, workplace romance, or you just like two women falling in love, then definitely pick up Our Teachers Are Dating. This is a series that is complete at 4 volumes. Next one is for all my bookish people out there, and that is Yagi the Bookshop Goat. In this one, we're following this little goat man named Yagi. Yagi works at a bookshop and he loves books, but he also loves the taste of books, not just reading them. And his taste in books is impeccable, which is why he does work for this little wolf/dog guy. Wolf Okami. And these two have another connection that you don't make until later in the volume, but Ogami owns the bookshop and hired Yagi, and though he raises his voice when he catches Yagi eating the books, he secretly accounts for that in his budget and things like that. So it's adorable. I absolutely love them. This is complete with just the 1 volume. It's a super sweet, super short boys love story, and I really enjoyed myself with this one. So if this sounds interesting to you at all, definitely pick it up. Next one on the list is Daily Report About My Witch Senpai. This is volume 1. We only have volume 1 out. I do know there will be at least 2 volumes. I haven't looked in to see if it's complete or not, but I know in Japan there's at least 2 volumes. But I love this so stinking much. These two are adorable. So Mizuno is really attracted to Shizuku, and Shizuku kind of keeps to herself, but she's very effective and efficient at what she does, but she is also very kind to her koheis, and it's adorable. I love them. I love them so much. And the way that Mizuno empowers her throughout the course of the novel, like the volume, is amazing. And he even gets up the guts to confess to her, and it's adorable. Like, this is just super sweet, going to give you a cavity level of sweet in a story, but the art is also very beautiful. And these two, like, I could read a series about them forever. She also has a iguana familiar who is salty and definitely part of the story, but they're adorable. I love them. 10 out of 10 would recommend reading this one. I know we're not getting another volume till later in the year, but I really love it. Next, we have Candy Color Paradox. In this one, it's a reporter and a cameraman, so the quote-unquote stakeout teams have recently gotten shuffled around. So Satoshi is now with Motohara, and Motohara is trying to complicate Satoshi's life. And through the course of this, they start to go from frenemies, because, like, they were coworkers, but they weren't, like, close, and they kind of rubbed each other the wrong way, to more than that. And so it's kind of this contentious style relationship in the workplace, because one is ready to be open with the other, open to anybody, and the other is not so much, which in Japanese culture is fairly normal. I've only read the first couple of volumes of this one, but I continue to really enjoy this one. I don't remember how many volumes there are in this one, but I know it's got 5 or 6 out in the series already, but I do plan on continuing to invest in this one. Next we have I Am a Wolf, but My Boss is a Sheep. I love this series so much. I have a whole video dedicated to talking about this video, as well as another one that's not an office romance, but very sweet as well. So in this one, we have another Ogami, who, he's a salaryman, but he's got a crush on his sheep boss. And the sheep boss has a crush on Ogami, and I love them. And this is so cute because he thinks he's being like sly and stealthy, like in his face, but then his little wolfy tail will be like going crazy, and so everybody else knows what's going on. And the sheep boss is adorable and blushy and says, you know, all the things that Ogami wants to hear, and I love them. They are just too pure for this world. This is another series that I could just talk about forever, but again, I have a whole nother video where I talk about it, so go check that one out. And this one's still ongoing in Japan, last I heard. And we're not getting another volume till like late in the year. So if you're bad at waiting, this might not be the series for you. But I love it. Light Song. Right now? Really? You have to knock stuff over now? While mommy's filming? Such a turd. Next we have Black or White. This one's by Sachimo. This one has 3 volumes out currently in English. I don't remember how long the series is. I forgot to look. But in this one, we have Shin and Shige, who are actually high school friends turned lovers, but they are also both actors. And it's about how their relationship is changing because one actor is getting more popular than another, and about how that's going to affect their relationship in the future. So this one's a little bit different because it is an existing relationship, but they do work in the same field and have worked on projects together in the past. But I felt like it still should be included in this list because it's fantastic. The smut's really good. All of these come sealed. I mean, the art is absolutely stunning. These men are gorgeous. But yes, would recommend this one. It's a stretch on the workplace thing, but they're constantly within the sphere of their work as actors, so it never really leaves them. So that's why I felt this one still worked. Because they're not publicly out, because they're actors in Japan. Next on the list is My Senpai is Annoying. I love this series so much. We have 7 volumes out in English right now. I do know that there's also an anime for this one. But we have Sakura and Tanaka. Sakura looks like a tiny child human, but she is not. She's in her 20s, and Tanaka is her senpai at work. And she's had a crush on him for a very long time, even though she says he's annoying. And he's annoying because he doesn't notice. But throughout the course of the series, he's beginning to notice. And the way he treats her is fantastic. And they are adorable. I feel like this is a very slow burn, very organic feeling relationship. It is mainly fueled by comedy. This is more of a short story vignette for Coma style, in color. It's very cute. We do follow another couple at the office as well. So, with that said, please read this one. It's so cute. Not enough people are reading this one because, man, I sure love it. The next one on this list is Birds of ShangriLa. Yes, this is a workplace romance. It is an all-male brothel, and it is about So, Apollo is the new hire. He's straight, but his job is to prep the workers of the brothel for their customers. So, I forget the title that they use. But Fee is one of the most popular men at the brothel, the guy on the cover here. And so Fee has been tasked with training Apollo in the ways of getting him ready. So, anyways, things obviously start to develop between Fee and Apollo, and it's going to be really interesting to see how all of that shakes out. I've read the first 2 volumes, which is all we have in English right now. Again, the art is stunning. These do come sealed because you are dealing with a male brothel. These men are very respected in the brothel. They're treated very well, which is why I felt this was okay to mention in this recommendation video. So if you are uncomfortable with that dynamic, this may not be the series for you. But all of the men are well paid, well respected by the customers. If anyone tries to disrespect one of the men in the brothel, they are immediately banned from the brothel. And the owner of the brothel has done a lot to curate a very nice clientele for the workers. So, again, really supportive look at sex work and about people who take care of the sex workers. So, yes, very, very good. We did this for Thirsty Thursday, so I have a lot more thoughts you can check out, as well as the thoughts of my friends, so you don't have to just take my opinion for it. So again, I'll leave that linked in the cards for you. Next is Perfect World. In Perfect World, we had these two who met in high school, like they went to the same high school, and she always had a crush on him, but she never had a chance to confess to him. They get reacquainted through work later in life, and after college, in college, he got into a car accident and is now paralyzed. This starts out feeling very ableist, but I feel like it gets better as the series goes on. So do be aware that our heroine has some very ableist thoughts at the beginning of this series. So if that is a trigger for you, please tread cautiously. But I do feel like her language and the way she treats our hero, Itsuki, that's his name, House Tsumugi treats Itsuki throughout the course of the series, definitely gets less and less ableist as we go on. So I very much enjoy this dynamic. It's a beautiful series, and yes, I love it. Though I've only read the first 9, I have my own triggers related to volume 10, which is why I haven't picked it up yet. But anyways, do know that this is a beautiful series, and I do recommend. The next one I have here is Donuts Under a Crescent Moon. This is one of my favorite sapphic romances in manga right now. This is about these 2 women who work at this office. So Hinako throws herself into being very girly, wearing lots of makeup, and presenting herself in a way that makes her family proud, though she could care less. She doesn't want anybody to find out that she likes women. But that gets harder and harder when the level-headed Asahi that she works with continues to be a presence in her life. They share a really beautiful moment that leads to the title of this story, that I'm not going to say too much about here, just because I think it's something you should experience. And these 2 women begin to fall in love. It's beautiful. There's 2 volumes out in English. I don't know how long the series is going to be, but I will read it for as long as it exists because, man, I sure love it. All right, I've got 3 more here. I actually have 13 series. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Manly Appetites, Minigishi Loves Otsu. I've talked about this over and over and over on my channel. This is a series where the chubby guy gets the office hunk at work, and they have an adorable dynamic. Minigishi loves to watch Otsu eat. He's fine with his size. He finds him very attractive. And they have the sweetest office romance. And it does have some very comedic moments thrown throughout. And Otsu does have some negative talk about his body image. So do know that going in. But I love them. I love them so much. This is so precious. Complete at 3 volumes. Would 10 out of 10 recommend the series. Next up, we have Cherry Magic. 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard. So if you have not heard of this series, this is a men loving men story in which our main character, Adachi, has turned 30. And now that he's turned 30, he can hear people's thoughts. And in hearing people's thoughts, he finds out that his coworker, Kurosawa, has the major hots for him. But Kurosawa doesn't think that Adachi will ever return his feelings because we're in Japan. Being gay is not cool in Japan right now. They don't like it. And anyways, culturally, it's just not as accepted as it is here in the US. But as Adachi gets to know Kurosawa better, they start to form a really sweet relationship. So they go from coworkers to friends to lovers. This is definitely a slow burn. There's not even a kiss till volume 3 level of slow burn. But I love it. It does have some very funny comedic moments. And Kurosawa has some dirty, filthy thoughts. And I love it. And yes, so 10 out of 10 would recommend the series. It's definitely one of my favorite men loving men stories out there. And then last but not least, the piece de resistance of office romances is Sweat and Soap. Sweat and Soap is one of my all-time favorite series. This is a story where Kotaro and Asako have this really innocent meeting while at work. So Asako has always had issues with how she smells. She sweats a lot, and so she's always afraid she's stinky. She got a really awful nickname in school because of it, and so she's kind of had this complex her entire life about it. And so she found this company that masks her odor well. It's called Lila Drop, and she feels very confident using their products. And so she gets a job at Lila Drop as she grows up. And when she's there, Kotaro's walking by as she's happily looking at a display one day. And he gets a whiff of her, and he loves how she smells. And so he basically comes up to her and says, "Can I come and sniff you every day?" And she's like, "What?" And so it's really interesting because he's attracted to her smell. And so they form this really weird, awkward working relationship. But they start to get to know one another as friends as things develop. And then it organically develops into a romantic relationship. Yes, he loves to sniff her, but she's okay with that. And he's like, they're consenting adults and perfectly okay with that. It's a lot heavier of a thing early in the series. It does carry throughout, but it gets a lot less, where it focuses more on the aspects of their relationship and how they're going to move forward. And it's beautiful. Everything's taken step by step. This is a perfectly paced series for me, and I loved it. I loved it with my whole heart and soul. I will champion this series till the end of time. Yes. So friends, with that said, I hope you enjoy these office romances. If you have other ones that weren't mentioned in this video, let me know in the comments down below. I love me a good office romance, so I'll always be looking for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my